who's dedicated to leadership
That's good.
development. So without any
You muted?
further delay, here is
Look at this
Daniel
question
G.,
of
the
parte.
founder of World Class Sales University. Daniel, back to you.
Team, can you guys hear me? Are we good?
Yeah, we can hear you good.
Boom! What's up? Hey, first of all, Terry, I appreciate you having me. Jay, as always, it's an honor, family. Steve has some graphics going on in the back, but hey, listen, I know we have a very busy couple months ahead, and it should be the highest season right now for the Super Patch family, just because, you know, think of the mindset. We got to think of mindset. Everything is seasons inside of the business, and if there's not a reason for the season, we always lose, okay? So if you don't have the reason for the season, we lose. In your mind first. Because in mine, I got to sell myself the reason for the season. Now, most people are being active. Most people are going out. Most people want to change their weight in their life. And they're thinking about that right now. They're thinking about their health, you know, their fitness, their body, their mindset, their bank account. Do I have more money to go out? So I want you guys to really dial in about the reasons right now. And then number two, let's take a personal inventory of where we're at, right? I had an event this week and I told everybody, I said, guys, everybody needs to take a personal inventory of their team. So what that means is when I look at my, of their business, when I look at my business, we got 3 different positions inside of our business. You got your vision, your operation, and then your ability to change. Your clients also have 3. It's the vision of what they want, the operations if they're gonna do it, and deciding to change number 3. That's everybody's business, by the way, okay? Number 1, what is the vision? So for example, imagine your vision is set like, oh man, I'm gonna make $5,000 this month, but you've already made $1,000. Okay, the vision's low. I gotta increase the vision. Why am I thinking so small? Let's ask yourself this, like, do I have a vision problem? Oh, by the way, also, does your vision have a tight enough shot clock? Is there urgency towards a vision? It would be nice to make it in the next 6 months, or do you actually have a tight enough shot clock to make it exciting enough? So number 1, is there a vision problem? Number 2, is there an operation problem? Now here's what I mean by an operation problem, team. We got 2 sides of the business. You got an active side and a passive side. Your active side is shaking hands, cold calls, reaching out to people, networking, active, production. Passive is, let's make a strategy post, or let's make an Instagram post and hope it lands. My question is, if you were to look at both sides of your business right now from an operational standpoint, where do you feel you're sitting right now active? Production. Meaning you know what makes money inside of your guys' business. Shaking hands, doing meetings, and calling people up. Whatever it is. What are your 3 most active tasks to bring in $1? Where do you think you stand if you had a camera watching yourself work yesterday? Honestly speaking. 1 being we're scratching our butt, and 10 being, okay, you went to bed and said, I'm exhausted. Where do you think you're at? Now, if I ask you that question, I guaranteed everybody's at a 6 or an 8. Promise you. If I ask that question. 6 or an 8, most people. The same person that says they're at an 8 is the same person that wants to go from $10,000 a month of commissions to $50,000 a month of commissions. Well, how's that possible if you're at an 8? You only have 20% more to grow. If you think you're operating at an 8, meaning like you really have everything dialed in, systems, workflows, sales, prospecting, marketing, like you're doing everything, then, well, you're only gonna get to $20,000 a month from 10. So my question becomes this, are you really operating at an 8, or are you just lying to yourself saying it's fine? And then the third thing just becomes change. When you have the vision and you know what it takes, the third thing is change equals a decision. Have you actually decided that it's serious enough to get moving? And how do you make a decision that you're probably pissed off at where you're at, or you can't move, you can't make money? So every single time I'm looking at my own business, I'm like, okay, am I headed in the right direction? Is the vision set straight? Are the targets set straight? Number 1. Operations. Are we trying to constantly go back down to a 2 and a 3 so we can see the leaks inside of the business? Change. Have you actually made a decision, meaning to eliminate something in the past? Have you actually made a decision in order to change? Meaning, are you actually pissed off about something? Vision, operation, change. Now, the reason why I'm saying that, and by the way, it goes the same thing, team, with your clients. Your clients also need Are they problem aware? Do they have a vision that they didn't have before? I just got off a call with some of my students. I said, team, we cannot sell somebody based off qualifying somebody. We can only sell somebody if they know they have a problem. Now, how many of you guys qualified people, they're the right fit for your business? You know they have a problem. You know they have money, yet they still didn't buy. Huh, interesting. Let me say it again. You knew they had money. You knew they were the right fit, yet the individual still didn't buy. Why? Well, because they weren't problem aware. A person will only pay another person if they're problem aware. If they know they've identified if the consultant can identify a problem that the other person didn't know they have, I will shop from that person. The question becomes this: how good are we at getting those aha moments from our prospects? Like, oh geez, I didn't know that existed. I didn't know that was there. I didn't know that was happening. I didn't know that was possible. Because if they're not aware of the problem, they're not going to trade in their money, which is just a trade-off to solve something. They'd just rather stay where they're at. So are you getting people problem aware, not qualifying people, not asking like, oh, what are you doing? Where do you want to go? Why haven't you done it? Would you like my help? Yeah, it's good. I'll teach you guys the 5 W's. What do you do? What do you want more of? Why haven't you done it? Would you like my help? Yeah, okay, great. But did they actually discover something that they didn't know what was there before? Did you get that from them? When you discover a problem, you only present towards a problem. You don't present your whole business. That's why we're getting caught up in all these conversations, 1 hour, an hour and a half. You find a problem, you present towards a problem, you solve the problem. But Daniel, I have so many things in my business. Yes, after you get them in, you can talk a lot of you guys have ready customers and then somehow figure out a way to unsell the ready customer. The customer's already ready, and then we found ways to unsell a ready customer. The moment I find out that they're problem aware, I'm going to start doing some upfront commitments. Write that down, upfront commitments. Upfront commitments. Because I need to now get them to a decision to change. So we know what they want. Now we see that they're problem aware. They need us as operations. And now we have to see, okay, are they actually committed? Because I would need commitments before I go in for the close, right? So how do you gain upfront commitments? Hey, by the way, would it make sense to take care of this before the summer? Would it make sense? Whatever your micro upfront commitments are, you start adding them into the sale. So then after, when we start closing, this is the easiest process I'm gonna give it to you guys if you guys are stuck on closing your deals, okay? There's only one way to close. There's only one way to close, okay? Here we go. It goes like this. There's 3 options, not 3 packages, there's only 3 options. There's not 3, I know you guys have a million different packages maybe, a million different products, but there's only 3 scenarios. You ready for this? There's 3 options that can happen. Option A, option B, or option C. There's not 4, there's not D, E, and F. Option A, you ready for this? Because you cannot say best case, worst case scenario. Why? Because best case is like, well, if you do this, Michael, best case scenario is that you're gonna lose 20 pounds. It's like, I'm gonna lose 20 pounds. Worst case scenario, Mike, you stay the same. Okay, well, now you just gave me the exit, like, it might, like, that just sounds bad. Worst case, negative. Best case sounds like hope. Hey, Mike, if we do this, if you fully execute and you and I lock arms together and you fully execute, okay, and we go through each phase together over the next 90 days, this is what should happen to you. Option A. Option B, we partner up. You're not all in. You have healing around your knee. This happens, okay? This is what's gonna happen. And then you give them the end outcome if they're not fully committed but still join. And then option number C is where you're currently at, this problem. That's it. There's only 3 options. Either A, you fully commit, B, you commit and you don't go all in, and option C is your current situation with all these negatives. Does that make sense? Yes. What are we gonna do? Well, yeah, option number A. Then I'm gonna say, how soon do you want option number A? I'm not gonna say option number A. I'm gonna say the end outcome of option number A. Hey, by the way, how soon do you want to change this, and this? How soon do you want? It's very simple. How soon do you want? How soon do you want XYZ? Just 5. 5 words. How soon do you want? 5. It's very simple. The reason why I think it's so easy for the close, like when you ask like, okay, what are you compatible with? And then you draw them out, all the scenarios, is because I think human beings always go to worst case, best case. But as a salesperson, you're not gonna match worst case, best case because it doesn't sound good. So you're gonna show them what a fully committed individual looks like, what a half an individual looks like, and somebody that's okay with the current situation looks like. And by the way, by not making a decision, doesn't affect them today. There's a negative compound inside of the future, which you gotta draw out for. Because if their current situation isn't painful today, they won't buy from you. Can you write that down? If you can't draw out a future pain of tomorrow, the current sale doesn't happen today. Let me say that again, team. If we can't draw out the future pain of what happens tomorrow, the money is not exchanged today. So in a close, it's super important that, okay, they understand the cost and the implications of not doing business today. All right, in the future. Now I'm gonna go into another quick recap review. Daniel G, I'm out there, I'm networking. How do I get more business? How do I bring in more business this summer? If you guys haven't heard me say this, if you can write this down, please. 3 Ps, you ready for this? People, perception, and positioning. People, perception, and positioning. People, perception, and positioning. People have to identify that they like you, and you brought up a need. I don't care if they want it, there's a need for it. They gotta like you, and there has to be a need. I don't care, there has to be a need. Like they gotta identify like, I need this because I'm problem aware. Perception. They gotta see you as a coach with the fine balance that they feel like they can make their own decision. Write it down. The other P, positioning. They have to be positioned for the end outcome and not what the product has, but what the product does. So not the features of it, but what it does. If I sell somebody sales training, nobody wants to buy. If I sell somebody what sales training will do for the team, everybody wants to buy. If I say, hey, by the way, let me train your team how to prospect, nobody wants to do that. But if I say, imagine what it'll look like if I get your team, if I could put them in the right framework to recruit 1 extra person a day, what would the business look like in the next 90 days? I want to buy that. Position different. Same product, just position different. So when we're looking at this, we're going to run through all the P's. P number 1, okay, ready? P number 1. People, you have to identify a need. You have to identify a need. How do you identify a need? By actually knowing about your prospect. So how do you take somebody and shake their hand and then sell them into your business or sell them your products? If you've met somebody in fitness and they were an athlete, well, the first thing you can't do is you can never let somebody ask you what you do for a living. You have to initialize contact. Write this down. Always initialize contact. Always initialize contact. So when I meet somebody, I'm not waiting for them to ask me, what do I do for a living? I'm initializing contact. Because if I initialize contact, I can grab data to then the end position my offer the right way. Same product, I just got to position it different to the athlete, the mother of 2, the doctor. It all has to be positioned differently. But you can't do that if you don't initialize contact. So initializing contact, you meet somebody, shake their hand, you're in the background. Hey, by the way, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm an athlete. Oh, awesome, man. What do you play? Oh, I'm in college football. Oh, wicked, bro. How long have you been in the league for? Oh, I've been playing for about, I don't know, 6 months, 2 years. Love it. Awesome. Whatever. Whatever they do. I own a yoga studio. Oh, amazing. Well, how long have you been running that studio for? Well, I've been running it for 2 years. I love it. So do you promote it online or do you freelance it? How do you bring in business right now? Because business is just crazy. You see, if somebody's weak at networking, they're always gonna have to porcupine. But if somebody's a pro, I'm not even giving you the chance until I'm like, all right, I got enough data on this person. And they might even try to ask me a question. I'm going into the third one. My rule of thumb is when I train my team how to network, I'm like, you should have already fired off 3 before they ask you what you do for a living. And then you don't even have to do it because you could just say, by the way, and you could slip in the nugget right when you want to. Hey, so what do you do? I own a Pilates studio. That's awesome. Whereabouts? We're at 58th Street in Denver. By the way, how are you getting people in right now? Because one of my friends, she owns a yoga studio and she's been struggling. Are you doing in person? Are you promoting online? Are you using influencers? Oh yeah, we're using a little bit of influencers. Love it, dude. And how's business right now? Oh, it's going great. Oh, you know what's crazy is we put together a system inside of our business. Check this out. We put together a system inside of our business, oddly enough, where we help a lot of people that own Pilates studios like yourself, not just keep their customers and have more income and lifetime value and income from their customers, but at the same time figure out systems to bring in new business inside of their Pilates studio. Absolutely phenomenal. What are you guys doing right now to bring in new business and not just current business or make more money off the current people that you have? Do you have that in place? Oh, no, we don't. Well, what do you mean more about that? Hey, take my number down. I'd love to show you what we got going on. That's it. Why? Because now I can position to the Pilates studio and not saying we help people make an additional source of income and help them get fitter, help them live a beautiful life. Because if you can't position, it's because you don't know people. And you can't get them the perception of saying, wow, this is for me. And I could stay in control of this process, by the way. Hey, what are you doing tomorrow at 5? Would love to show you exactly what we're doing. If you have to get curiosity from a person, you got to know them first, so you can't draw curiosity second. So I want you guys to think of this okay, sales is the art of positioning my offer. And by the way, the better you guys get at this, the more everybody starts playing the game inside of their head. Okay, let me go. Okay, he has extra time every single day. He has downtime. I know he has downtime. It's not 24/7. He's booked and busy. He has clients come in every single day. He already has a big network of people. Okay, and he needs energy throughout the day and he has to feel better while he cuts. Okay, how would I structure that to him? Hey, dude, what are you doing right now bringing new clients inside of the business? Well, not really anything. Okay, cool. Because you guys help people, right? You guys help people. Do we personally develop people? Yeah, we help people. Hey, number 2, what are you doing right now with the current clients to keep them inside of your network? I don't know, to make more money with the current clients that you already have rather than also bringing in new people. Okay, nice. And whatever you want to do, shit, will I go the health side with this person? Maybe if you had the conversation with him. Hey, by the way, what are you doing for XYZ? Dude, you know what? Oddly enough, I help a lot of barbers on top of what they do without interrupting it, show them how to make more money with the current customers that they have, add more value to the current network that they have, and at the same time, additional, right, increase more foot traffic. Thing inside of our head it's so hard to prospect and recruit people. No, it ain't. It's just that we're not and the last thing is, do you have a number this summer? If you don't have a number, you're not going to go out there. Meaning a lot of us think recruiting's hard to a call. Well, if you had a number 1 a day, you would do it. I'm just asking you guys, do you actually have a number? Do you, every single human being here can bring in 1 customer a day inside of the business? It is not rock. I guarantee you, if you had to do it, you would knock on every single door. Imagine you brought in 1 customer a day inside of the business. 1 customer, 1 business partner. Imagine what it would look like 365 days out of the year. What would your business look like over the next 12 months? Can you do it? Yes. Have you decided to do it? No. Can you do it? 150%. Have you decided to do it? Absolutely not. Does every single person in your neighborhood know what you do? No? Okay, so you still haven't decided to do it. 1 person every single day, how would the business look like? Or you can teach your team. 1 new person on your team comes every single day, or your team can get 1 new person every single day. What would the business look like? It would look like on fire. And all it takes is 1 year. Not of sacrifice, by the way. All it takes is 1 year of trading off a negative for a positive. Team, we gotta find the thing that is stopping us from prospecting that one person a day. Not the thing that is gonna motivate us from doing it. Life is a trade-off, it's not a sacrifice. Remember that. Life is a trade-off, meaning what can we trade off that is negative in order to supplement it with something that is positive? The time is already there, right? Like the time's being spent somewhere. Where can we throw our efforts in right now? Because you know what people say, you gotta sacrifice drinking, you gotta sacrifice this, it's already negative. What can we trade off? What are we doing right now that we can trade off in order to bring you people inside of the business? Because I think numbers have to go up. When we look at everything, I think whatever you think operationally is gonna get you to where you need to get to, there's a reason why you haven't got there, because it's not enough. It's not enough. Whatever you've been doing, if you're not at the results that you wanna be at, it's because your behavior's not enough, your action's not enough. When people think they come out of a convention or a Daniel G call and they're like, wow, we learned so much. Has the behavior changed? If the behavior hasn't changed, you haven't learned nothing. Results change if behavior change. Learning indicates that behavior at some sort has changed. If what you do is not different from yesterday, you haven't learned nothing on the call. If what you do, any call, if what you do hasn't changed, if your behavior hasn't changed, if you don't act different, if you're not different, then nothing, you haven't learned nothing on the call. You know what I do? I say to myself every single day, how do I change behavior? What is one thing I'm gonna do today to change behavior? What is one thing I can learn and implement that I'm gonna change behavior? And how do I get that thing into a habit? And can I add it inside of my life? What do I gotta supplement out? What do I gotta bring inside? Okay, one more thing. I wanna talk about presentations for a second here, okay? I want you to guys build up this algorithm inside of your head of time management, who you spend your time with. And I don't mean inside of life, I mean with customers. Do we know who buys it or who doesn't buy? That's difficult, right? And I think every leader has this spidey sense where they talk to people and they're like, that's a buyer, that's not a buyer. That's a buyer, that's not a buyer. And they spend 3 minutes with some people and they spend an hour and a half with other people. The only reason being is because they're looking for signals from the individual of the questions that they're asking. So some of us try to sell against the lazy river. Remember we talked about you either sell with the lazy river or against the lazy river. You cannot force interest into somebody's lifestyle. Somebody has to be interested. Let me say that again. You can't force interest. That's like motivating somebody to make money. That leader always quits. Why? Because nobody should be motivated to make money. You cannot motivate a human being to make money. By the way, in all my years of training salespeople, you will never motivate a top producer. Why? Because they're like myself. A top producer is like me. I've never woken up and said I need motivation. Why? Dude, I got bills. I got enough motivation. I got an industry that can pay me a lot of money. That's enough. I don't need somebody to tell me work harder. Here's the comp plan. That doesn't motivate you? Stare at the comp plan. Good? No? Wrong industry. Probably not, like, if it doesn't motivate you, it's the wrong industry. If staring at the comp plan doesn't motivate you, it's not a good industry to be in. You're just not meant for it. So maybe you just gotta show instead of tell, like, hey, this is what's possible, guys, but you'll never force somebody to do what they don't wanna do. The reason why I'm telling you that is because I wanna find people that are already interested in a change or already interested in what we do. You don't wanna force people to change thought. You just wanna find people that have already educated themselves, and you wanna find people that are already on the journey. You wanna find people that express interest. You're not trying to get somebody interested. You're finding people that are already interested, just on the wrong path. Somebody wastes their time trying to get somebody interested. I'm just finding people that are interested. They just might be on the wrong path. That's all it is. That's a whole difference. So I don't have to spend 25 minutes with somebody like, well, Uncle Bob, this is the best because this is what's going to happen. And then those people eventually sell you out of it. Then you start to ask, where are my customers that are already interested? Who am I going to spend time with? Are they asking me the right questions? Are they asking me buying questions, or are they asking me questions like, well, how much does it cost? Nobody cares about it. It doesn't matter. Price is non-existent inside of sales. The only thing that matters is the outcome that the person is going to get. So you have to have these things inside of your head, the algorithms. Who's a buyer and who's not a buyer? Can we write it down? Who's a buyer and who's not a buyer? A buyer asks questions about the outcome. A buyer asks questions about the process. A buyer asks questions about the change of their life. A buyer asks worst case scenarios sometimes. That's, by the way, a non-buyer typically doesn't start with the price, okay? A non-buyer, by the way, doesn't say, I don't believe in. I'm not forcing that person, like in health or whatever the case. I'm not forcing that person. Oh, by the way, I know because you guys are going to think this is crazy. A non-buyer, I'm telling you, I felt this a lot throughout my career, and it's been a while for me to say this. I'm good. Can you write that down? I'm good as a non-buyer. I'm good. Thank you so much, but I'm good. That's a non-buyer. Why? The person's telling you off the bat, I'm good. Now, I know that hurts a lot of sales. Thank you so much. I'm good. Thank you so much. I'm good. Thank you so much. I'm good. No, I know you're good, but if you ask them a question, hey, by the way, would you ever be open-minded, Daniel G, to learn how you have the ability to go a lot longer, speak a lot longer without any sort of burnout, feel better, and make more money while you're on stage? Would you be open or closed-minded to that? I'm good, thank you so much. Why? If the person's not open-minded, kick rocks, move on. You wanna know why? Don't let people sell you out of what you got inside of life. And I think we're spending time with people that don't sometimes value whatever you have, or maybe they wanna have nothing to do with it. And I don't want to spend my energy forcing somebody to be open-minded. That's it. There's gonna be open-minders and there's gonna be closed-minders. I'm good, thank you. And then we start talking to people that say, oh, I'm good, thank you so much. You know what I noticed in my whole career? If I ask somebody a question that is literally the end outcome of my product in the beginning and they say I'm good, 9 times out of 10, they've never bought. And I'm good at sales, by the way. I'm great at sales. And for me, a 90% no closing rate, a 10% closing rate is it's bad. Bad. Okay, so superstar Daniel G salesperson, when he asks an end outcome question, dude, would you be open to see how we can make realtors make a little bit more money on top of what they're currently doing without spending extra time? Dude, I'm good, thank you so much. No, but listen to me. 10% closing rate. Now, here's the problem. The problem is not that you're hearing I'm good. The problem is you're probably not asking enough and you're not hearing enough. How many times have you heard I'm good today? Once? Twice? It's not enough. And it's a reflection of the paycheck. You're not on the wrong path when you hear too much. That just means you've asked more people to purchase and look at what you got going on. You know, some of you guys think you're on the wrong path when people say, no, I'm good, thank you so much, but I'm fine. I'm not interested. You're doing it. What did I say once? I said, observe the masses and do the opposite. Observe the masses and do the opposite. Observe the masses and do the opposite. I guarantee you, when I went inside of my organization, I was young, I was 15 years old, knocking on doors, and I used to ask my friends, dude, how many people shut the door in your face today? They'd be like, like 10 people, bro. I'd be like, wow. You're so broke. And they'd be like, what do you mean? I'm like, dude, 65. See you at the end of the night. Bonus. Why? I mean, you just didn't get the door slammed in your face enough. You didn't ask enough people. You didn't ask too many times. I knew it, by the way. I knew their level of volume was just way too weak. Okay? Why? I just knew. I'm like, if somebody doesn't hear I'm not interested, you literally just haven't asked enough people. You just haven't asked enough people. Literally, do you know life is all just an ask? Life is just an ask. It's just always a question. There could be a lineup for business class and a lineup for economy. And the lineup for business class is one person. Okay? And I'm flying economy that day. Couldn't get a ticket. Business class is sold out. Sold out. I know it's sold out. There's only one person in business class line though, 120 in economy. I'm not lining up in the economy line without asking. Well, what do you ask about, Daniel? I just ask. I already know it's sold out, by the way, on my phone. I'm going up to them. Hey, by the way, out of curiosity, do you have like, I just called my assistant. I know she said business class is tight, but is there any business class available? No, sorry, we're filled up. Really? Yeah, because I was trying to get work done on the plane. There's nothing? Nothing. No, sorry, sir, we're all filled up. Oh, I'm like I'm the best member on this airline. Okay, check me in. Fine, here are the bags. I don't think it's ever failed us. By the way, and sometimes I knew it was already filled up. Now, some of you guys are gonna be like, I'm just doing that every single time. You just gotta be good at the ask. You just gotta ask. Would you rather line up or would you just rather ask? I'm just saying you get whatever you want inside of life, or you could just stay at the back of the line and just try it out. I don't like the back of the line. I wanna get to the front. I wanna get to the front. I wanna get to the front. Just ask more people. The rate of your ask is the rate of your success. Remember, if you wanna double the rate of your success, you double the rate of your failure. Whatever you're doing right now and it's quiet, up it a little bit more. If it's quiet, up it a little bit more. Meaning like, if you're making a lot of calls, if you're reaching out to a lot of people and you don't know you're in the right position, you're standing right where you need to be inside of business. It's supposed to be boring because it's the #1 sign of consistency inside of our business. Pick the task that is the most boringest task first. Do all the fancy stuff after. Pick the task that is the most boringest task first. Do all the fancy stuff after, okay? So, Terry, I know we got a call tonight in the next 30 minutes with Jay, so I'm gonna give you guys some time to breathe. I got my vocal cords right now are completely shot today, but I wanted to come in and say hi to everybody to give you guys a quick injection before the summer. And Terry, I appreciate you always doing this. We got a call in about 27 minutes with Jay, so appreciate you. Super Patch family, always love you guys. Thank you guys so much. Hey, listen, team, in the last 2 weeks, 2 people have asked me about the organization. I said, go. Like I'm saying personal students, I said, it's a yes, go. I have a student right now on this call in another organization. And I'm like, no. There's only 3 things that matter, by the way, team, about an organization. Ready for this? And I said, listen, do not make an emotional decision. Make a logical decision. Here's the decision when you join a new company or start a new business. Number 1, does the product work? Yes. Number 2, is there money to be made? Is the compensation better than what they're currently getting? Yes. Number 3, is the leadership actually good and knows what they're talking about? Tell me who knows better than the leaders that you got inside of your organization. Have you guys talked to Jay? Have you guys know how corporate, have you guys noticed how dialed in there? It's just not like another product that people are like, oh, and let's just, let's sell this shake right here and let's just go make millions of dollars off this shake. That's what companies do. They don't scientifically prove and time test all their products. They're like, what can we add in to satisfy our company? No, forget about satisfying the salespeople, satisfy the market. So I was sitting down and I said, listen, here was my best advice. And I wasn't supposed to get fired up for this call. I really wasn't. I said, when you are bringing somebody from A or B to A, actually, B side to the A side, sometimes you got to be a little bit confrontational. You got to sit down and say, don't make an emotional decision. What are you doing right now? What's your product? Okay, this is our product is better. What's your compensation? This is our compensation is better. What's your leadership? This is our leadership is better. 1, 2, and 3. And you know how I tee that up? I always say to people, Melissa, would you not agree the 3 most important things inside of our organization is number 1, that the product works. Number 2, that there's actually money to be made and there's good compensation towards your work ethic and you're getting paid what you're worth. And number 3, you actually have leadership that cares. That's what runs the business. That strings the whole business together. Yes, perfect. I got the commitment. You see how I get the commitment first and then I sell them after. Well, this is what we got, this is what we got, this is what we got. If you could show me better, I would love to see, but this is what we have on paper. And as long as you know, by the way, if you and I don't partner up, you know who's sitting on which side of the fence. We're on the A side, that person's on the B side. That's it. I think the best negotiators know the data first. They go in with the data first. All right, Terry, appreciate you. Jay, appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for having me, and I can't wait to see you guys soon.
Thank you, Daniel G. Well done, extremely well done. Everybody, at the top of the hour, you're going to hear from Jay Dollywall, going to make an important, life-changing announcement. Thank you so much for joining us. This concludes our sales training with the #1 sales trainer in the world. Thank you, Daniel G. Bye for now. Take care, everyone.